Hello and welcome to Cars Street here in Frankston for the Division 2 Reserves Grand Final. You see both sides in the huddle. Langwarrin have won the toss. They're going to kick towards the Cars Street end, in which was the scoring end for the under-19s, which saw Langwarrin victorious. So the Langwarrin under-19s premiership side in 2022. In this reserves game, we've got Langwarrin and Kringle. Both sides have got full talented lists with guys who have played a number of senior games this year, especially for Langwarrin. You go through their lineup: Mitch Mathy, Michael Kennedy, you've got James Longley, Cooper DeMerlo, Levi Hughes have all played a substantial amount of senior footy this year. So, Sus, I think this is going to be a cracking afternoon for the Division 2 Reserves Grand Final.
Well, just going off the under-19s, AJ, it's anyone's position. Langwarrin have been dominant throughout the year, but again by narrow margins. Should see interesting. Langwarrin with the aid of, I'd say, a 2 to 3 goal wind at the moment, favouring the Car Street end. But be interesting to play out. Some great names in the side there, just looking at both sides. So we'll go through those as the game progresses.
We're not too far away from a start here at Skybus Stadium. Langwarrin playing Kringle, Division 2 Reserves Grand Final. Liam Bennett in the ruck for Kringle, up against Big Ben Honey for Langwarrin. As the ball's held aloft to start the first quarter. We're underway in the Division 2 Reserves Grand Final. Quick kick by Kennedy going forward. Kicked off the ground, going Langwarrin's way. Out to Hughes. They follow up Langwarrin. It rebounds off the knee of the player out there. They're going to play down the Brian Mace stand side, but they've run out of bounds, and we'll get a throw in about 70 metres out from goal, Langwarrin. Kennedy's had a good start for Langwarrin. Andy Johnson's around the footy. So ball thrown in. Goes over the back of the ruckman. Comes into a dangerous position for Langwarrin. They get a quick kick going forward. Andy Johnson there. He's a big hip and shoulder early. Ball's bouncing around. And the umpire's going to call for it. That was a big hit from Big Andy Johnson.
Big hit as we see a large Kringle contingent in the Brian May stand there, AJ.
Absolutely. Michael Burke, the legend from Kringle, he's going to win a free kick for too high against Shane Patterson. He goes by hand to Treat. He goes further afield looking for a target. Ball bounces in front. It's going to go out and we'll get a throw in.
Any key matchups you're seeing at the moment, AJ?
I think the one with Andy Johnson in the middle, I think that's a good move from Langwarrin. Kennedy's had a really good start, so I think we'll see a bit more in the next 5 minutes as it plays out. As the ball comes over the back, Hookman, he goes up. It's going to be rebounded from Langwarrin. Kennedy puts his head over the footy. He burrows through. Umpire circles, and we're going to get a throw in. Throw up, sorry.
We saw in the under-19s a distinctive match plan from the Kringle side, as in the Kringle club. It'd be interesting if that progresses through. Stop, start, gather possession, have a look around.
Yeah, I think with Langwarrin's experience here in the seconds, they'll know what to do, especially with guys like we mentioned with Andrew Taylor, Mitch Mathy, James Longley as well. As Andy Johnson applies a big tackle. He started the game on fire, using his body as a bit of presence. Honey in the ruck. He gets a tap out. He follows it up. Tackle applied.
Very congested early on.
Absolutely. There's a ball up once again. Free kick's going to go the way of Kringle to Liam Bennett for a Shepherd in the ruck. Treat goes past. He goes inside forward 50 looking for a target. Goes over the back. Ball comes to the front of the contest. Kennedy gets a handball out. Grant Paxton. Quick kick inside forward 50. Who can take a mark? But coming out for Langwarrin was the player in Bustle Inglis. Big tackle applied. Umpire's going to call for it once again.
Umpire Shields there looking after things there in the forward half there for Kringle.
So we've got another stoppage inside the forward 50 for Kringle. Cooper DeMerlo couldn't pick it up. He goes back onto it. Gets a handball out. Quick kick going through the goals. No, just for a behind. That was by Steve Mevick. So Kringle open their scoring. One behind. Langwarrin yet to score. Langwarrin bring the ball out looking for Hughes. Ball bounces in front of him. He escorts it out. We'll get a throw in.
Both sides would be very nervous. Already some changes off the bench.
So it's going to be thrown in once again. Ball's going forward for Kringle. Just need to get it on the boot as they do. Inside forward 50 they go. Ball bounces. Tackle applied by Liam Matthews. We'll get a stoppage once again.
Interesting to see Kringle have 3 inside 50s already to Langwarrin's 1.
So the ruck work was done by Jared Sullivan for Kringle, but Langwarrin are going to clear the ball high up and under. Who can run onto a punter only, tries to take the mark, no mark. Andy Johnson just goes off the ground. And we'll get a throw in. Right in front of where we're broadcasting from today at Sky Bus Stadium. So the changes is being made by Langwarrin. Ball going to be thrown in once again. Honey just edges out his opponent. Ball comes in front. Pack forms. Tackle applied. And we'll get another stoppage. Big tackle there by Hookham. So Honey does the ruck work. Taps it down, but to no advantage for his team. Langwarrin are going to get a free kick. They go wide. Mitch Matey has the footy now. He goes up looking for the player in Howard. He can't trap it, but his opponent falls over. He can run onto it. He goes inside forward 50. Top of the goal square. Hughes can't take the mark. And it trickles out, and we'll get a throw in deep inside the forward 50 for Langwarrin. That was better ball movement.
Creating space there, Langwarrin, and getting some options. Just need to consolidate.
So not too far out from the Langwarrin goals. Andy Johnson doing the ruck work, just using his big frame. Tackle applied. And we'll get another stoppage.
Interesting, the ruckman and Honey laying back in the centre there, just as a block.
Quick clearing kick for Kringle. Comes out in front of Punteroni. He knocks it out. We'll get another throw in on the 50-metre mark. On the grandstand, or the new facility side here, the grandstand on the far side, full of red and white on one side, and then full of blue and white on the other. If you're just joining us, Langwarrin have won the under-19s. Ball thrown in. Michael Burke for Kringle. He puts his body over it. And the umpire's going to call for it. Another ball up here, just inside the forward 50 for Langwarrin. So the rucks do battle once again. Andy Johnson goes over his head. Paxton tries to run onto it for Kringle. He goes up by hand. Tackle was going to be applied, but they let go. And that is holding the football against Dale Donkin. So Kringle have gone to the far side, leading the race out there, but it trickles out, and we'll get a throw in as we welcome Daz onto the broadcast.
Hey Jay, how are you, mate? Everyone out there, hope you're all well. A decent game of footy in the under-19s, mate, and hoping we're getting more of the same.
Absolutely. Ball's going to be thrown in. Honey also doing battle is Bennett. Goes over the back of the two ruckmen. Ball comes to ground. Bennett followed up his work. Quick clearing kick for Kringle. Goes up to the centre of the ground. Punteroni just uses his big frame. He's tackled. Ball's on the ground. Kennedy. He goes by hand over to Honey. He's just pushed off the footy. Quick kick by Condolly. So it's inside the forward 50. Treep's got it here. He's got a man out wide. Handball misses him. He goes and ducks under, but he's going to get a free kick. It's going to go the way of Liam Matthews. 50 metres out going towards the Nepean Highway end. Kringle one behind. Langwarrin yet to score. Short ball goes in, but it's turned over. Mark has been taken by Tom Branch for Langwarrin.
Bit inefficient going forward there, weren't they, Kringle? But I'm enjoying the fact they're putting their heads over the footy, and once you've got a little bit of momentum in a grand final, you need to take your chances.
So Graham Paxton has the footy. He goes off by hand over to Beale. He goes inside forward 50. Can he go with the check side? Will it make the distance? It does. So they get the first on the board, Kringle. They move to 1-1-7. Langwarrin yet to score.
Geez, that's a fantastic finish. Once he came in on his inside, you thought, oh, I think he's winging this, making it up on the spot. But no, that's a fantastic finish, and it just held its line, the check side kick. So he thought it through beautifully, and they're able to lock the ball into their forward half, Kringle, which in a grand final is all you can ask for, especially early.
Interesting to see that plays down at that western end. It's just, with the wind conditions at the moment, it's just not au fait, is it?
No, well, I was doing a bit of a lap before as I got in, and there's barely a lick of wind out there, so not favouring many.
Obviously, Daz has got in late in the 19s. It was a strong wind. Obviously, usually it goes and blows towards Cars Street. That's a big tackle applied. I'm not sure who I'm going to trust in the weather department. Have we got Jane Susovich or...
I was just down there. I've walked around for the last 10, 15 minutes.
Well, we'll see if it comes true, Daz. Ball goes forward. Beale. Up to the goal square. Mark not taken. Quick clearing kick. Goes towards Howard, but it's going to bounce over his head.
I can just see Kevin Sheedy down there in the forward pocket tying up the flags on the coffee van.
I'll tell you what, dropping chest marks in the goal square, grand final nerves get to everyone. Pressure does fickle things, but geez, they're dominating around the ball, Kringle. This is a really impressive start.
So DeMerlo in the ruck for Langwarrin now. Footy was on the ground. Langwarrin go by hand, but it's been intercepted. Quick kick going forward through Phipps. Who can take a mark? Punteroni. No, spoiled away from him. The ball's going to go out of bounds once again.
6 inside 50s to Kringle at the moment, to Langwarrin's 2.
They just can't win a clearance at the moment, Langwarrin, or take any territory at all.
So throw in favoured DeMerlo. Patterson tries to run onto it, but a kick off the ground by Kennedy going forward. Donkin goes by hand out to Mitch Mathy. Does the ball sit for him? It does. He comes back into the corridor. He's going to go out wider looking for Hughes, and he takes the mark. So Langwarrin will go back and line up for their first of the afternoon.
2 of the better field kicks we've seen in a while. One of them, that goal, of course, just coming off the outside of the boot. And as a defender, that as soon as you take your eyes off the footy and you start looking for your opponent, you're gone. And that's what happened there. Really smart play and a bit of an understatement. And I know the margin's not blown out by any stretch, but get confidence, put it through.
Hughes, in he comes. Shot at goals down towards the Car Street end, and he misses that.
We saw what happened last night in the first quarter, mate. We need to, well, teams need to ensure that the ball's going through those 2 big sticks.
You're on thin ice with Sus, Daz, bringing that up. But it's going to be brought in from Kringle. Mark not taking a bounce in front of them. It's 2v1 here for Langwarrin at the moment. Patterson goes to the top of the square. Who can take a mark? But it's balled through by Grant Paxton. So Langwarrin get their second score on the board. Kringle 1-1-7, Langwarrin 2 behinds.
I mean, look, if you're going to go for the goal, you've actually really got to put it through in that situation. If he had come in board, he had 2 free men, top of the square, and a really easy shot.
So ball comes to ground. It's worked out well for Kringle here. Punteroni has it on the outside. He goes back inside. He got stepping around a few tackles here. Kringle. That was the kick through Burnett, but he's turned it over. Fennick has it, and they've got players out here, Langwarrin. They can get it and go. High up and under kick. O'Rourke, can he take the mark? He can. Great body work from Anthony O'Rourke.
Great kick to the forward's advantage too, and all he had to do was just nudge his opponent under the ball, which he did. Still a good mark in that situation, and just reinsert what I said last time. You've got to get your team off to a good start and put it through. They've got the momentum back, need to capitalise.
So O'Rourke comes in. Bit of an awkward kicking style. But he's been able to put it through the big sticks. Langwarrin get there first. They're 1-2-8. Kringle, a 1-1-7.
That was a very generous use of the term awkward. It looked like he knew Josh Kennedy from West Coast's old skipping routine, but only the second half of it. There was just no real walk in at all there, but he's put it through, which is all that matters.
So we're playing nearly 14 minutes in the first quarter. Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard.
Let me tell you, we've got a game on. The disposal efficiency is low, which is good for a grand final. Both teams are up for it. Good start.
The ball back in the middle. DeMerlo. He wins the tap out. Tackle was applied, and that is holding the football. Free kick going the way of Liam Matthews. He's been bright early. The evergreen Michael Burke, but he's going to turn it over. Mark taken by Cooper DeMerlo.
Bit unlucky when your teammate slips over, but...
So DeMerlo, he's going to go long. Looking for another target. Who's going to stand under it? Michael Burke at the front of the contest. He gets a handball out to Grant Paxton. Ball comes forward to Phipps. He goes on his left. Not a great kick. No mark taken. But Kringle have worked it forward. But standing in the way was the Langwarrin defender, who's going to come out wide looking for the play there in Fenwick. But it's a 2v1. Ball comes to ground. James Longley would be happy just to escort it out, and we'll get a throw in.
And they're the two differences between the defenders. The Kringle defender just a couple of minutes ago was looking for his opponent, and the Langwarrin defender in that case just attacked the footy. It's the way you've got to do it, no matter if it's a grand final or round 3.
So ball thrown in once again. DeMerlo in the ruck. Ball comes down. Intercepted by Taylor.
Well done.
He's out. He goes forward looking for a target. Ball comes over the back to Hughes. He can't run onto it. Nor can Dale Donkin. Clearing kick. 3 Bulls standing there all alone. Good talk from Michael Burke, but taking the mark was Burnett. Burnett's going to go long. Sea of blue and white there. Taylor, he runs onto it. Goes over to that man in Longley, who in turn gives it the footy over to Meggs. He drives it long inside forward 50. Good defending from Kringle. They're under a bit of pressure. Jason Hind has got it now. He's under enormous pressure, but he brushes off. He goes on his left. No mark taken. Ball comes to ground. They've worked it well here, Kringle. They're going to go by hand and sweep it wide. Grant Paxton with a bit of a front punt kick up to the wing. Ball bounces over the top. Langwarrin, and that is a great rundown chase.
That's their third in about 4 minutes. Their pressure's good. They need to hit a target inside 50.
The player was Sullivan. Not a great kick going forwards, not to the advantage of his... Soon to trickle out. We'll get a throw in once again.
But once again, they were able to absorb the pressure in their back half and lock the ball in. If you're the Kringle coaches right now, I don't think you could have asked for a much better start in terms of around the ball.
Ball thrown in. Honey doing the ruck work for Langwarrin. He just gets his big fist in. Picked up there for Kringle. Big dumping tackle by Howard. Another tackle applied by Kennedy, and we'll get another stoppage.
The pressure has been outstanding, and proof that both these teams really are the proper grand finalists, and I reckon this is going to come down to an absolute cracker.
So Burnett tries to go by foot, but it's dispossessed. Kennedy gets it for Langwarrin. He goes out to Patterson. He's had a number of possessions to start early. So on the far side, ball's underneath, and we'll get us another stoppage.
So the question now for Langwarrin, we know how good of a year they've had in all competition. To break the game open, what can they do to break the game open? Of course, they don't really need to do anything quite yet, of course. But as the game goes on, they can't rely on the fact they've been the best team all year to get it done. They've got to do it. They've got to get it done on the day. That's a horrific kick.
So Grant Paxton's going to turn it over. Langwarrin will have the chance to rebound. Umpire just wants the player out there to come around. He's going to go long down the line looking for a target. O'Rourke, who's kicked the last goal for Langwarrin, was standing under it. Plenty of Kringle numbers there. They work it out. They've got a player out here in Cat. He can take the mark. He couldn't, but they've butted up here, Kringle. They've gone over the top to Burnett. He goes in the middle of the ground, but it's a bit of an up and under. It's going to work out for Langwarrin if it sits right now. A little toe poke out for Kringle going the way of Beale. He's trying to run onto it again, but he's pushed over. The player there for Kringle was Howard. He's got it out to the far side.
They had one-on-ones forward of the ball. Kringle have got one back now.
So they've gone in short with a great mark. Finding Howard. He's going to drive it long. It's touch ball. So no mark's going to be paid. Comes to ground. Big tackle applied. Lucky to get away with it. O'Rourke just goes with the hand. Quick kick. Standing in the right place at the right time is Mitch Mathy, and he's going to go back and line up for Langwarrin's second of the afternoon.
Well, ironically, it was the ball being touched off the boot which created the chaos in the forward half, didn't it? And I'm not sure who the Kringle defender was that decided to bump instead of a tackle, but when you're defending Sun, just hold the ball in and hunt for a stoppage. That an extra at the top of the square, and they're probably going to pay for it.
In he comes, heading towards the Car Street end. That's a better kick for Langwarrin. They get their second on the board. So Mitch Mathy has one. Also Anthony O'Rourke has one as well.
Just appears the disposal efficiency of Langwarrin off their half-back line is greater than Kringle's at the moment, and you've got a structure heading down forward.
They just got ball winners all around the contest, Sus, do Langwarrin.
But they're gathering in on the half-back line and you know, charting a way out, which is starting to hurt Kringle.
So ball back in the middle. Honey's back in the ruck. He gets the tap out. He was trying to find Taylor. Burnett has the footy for Kringle. And the umpire's going to call for it once again. So Langwarrin 2-2-14, Kringle 1-1-7. Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard. Tackle applied by Patterson. He's going to win a free kick. Advantage has been taken. Big Andy Johnson goes inside forward 50. Levi Hughes. He can just wheel around and have a shot at goal. He needed to steady. Had a couple more metres he could have gone.
Yeah, spot on. He had probably 3 more steps that he could have taken there, and I think Big Andy Johnson will be pretty grateful that it resulted in a scoring opportunity. The ball just wouldn't sit for him. It's an ugly place to be in. So
the pressure of Langwarrin's forwards is enormous at the moment, although they've worked it out. Kringle, they've gone up to the wing. They had players out there in Mitcham, but it went over the top of him. He butters up once again. It's a hot footy on the far side here at Skybus Stadium. We're going to get a throw in right in front of the Brian Mace grandstand.
They actually worked that out pretty well, the Kringle back 6. It's now all they've got to do is just slow the game down. They're probably missing their targets by foot by just half a metre and putting themselves under unnecessary pressure.
So O'Rourke, he was dispossessed. It's gone back to the player in Bennett. Quick kick going forward by Kringle. High up and under. Longley was standing under it for Langwarrin, and we're going to get a throw in once again.
Really good crowding today too, guys, and I'll tell you what, loud. Going for the walk before I joined you boys, and let me tell you, aren't they up and about, as you should be.
Andy Johnson went back into the traffic. Fennick was tackled. He was going nowhere, and the umpire's going to call for a stoppage once again.
We see Michael Burke there, being extra down on the Kringle back line.
Yeah, if they are hoping to launch from half-back, which is what your spare man in defence is there for, they need to be hitting their targets in the middle of the ground a lot better than they've started, Kringle.
So free kicks going the way of Kringle here.
And 50.
So this will result in a potential goal here. Well, should be a certain goal. Although we did see one in the under-19s. Missed at the top of the goal square. It was touched through.
We've seen a couple of them in the seniors finals as well. And we won't bring up too much about 50-metre penalties, I don't think, boys. I think we'll just move on as Sus gives me an absolute death look from the back of the box.
Liam Bennett He's going to have a shot on goal for Kringle's second of the afternoon. So he's put that straight through the middle.
Jeez,
Langwarrin 2-3-15, Kringle 2-1-13, Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard.
Yeah, about 13 or 14 of them making a huddle there, which is good. I like the fact that they've got that one in, all in kind of attitude there. Of course, the defenders will want to be setting up relatively quickly, so no harm done there. But Kringle, the only thing they've done wrong so far is just miss a few targets on the half-forward line, and they're not missing them by much. So by no means is this an uneven contest at all. Langwarrin are going okay, moving the ball forward. Their kicks inside 50 are just that 5% better, and it's why they've got a very, very small lead at the moment.
So Honey, he was trying to find Kennedy and run onto it. Clearance is going to go through Kringle. As the siren sounds for quarter time. A tight contest in the first quarter. Langwarrin 2-3-15, Kringle 2-1-13. Here at Skybus Stadium, Division 2 Reserves Grand Final. We're going to go to a break and we'll be back right after this. time. First quarter.
Extra back and launch from the back half. There aren't too many stoppages around the ground. The tackling's been brilliant and being rewarded with a few holding the ball decisions. Where the difference has been made and where Langwarrin have deserved their lead has been the fact that they've been able to move the ball more efficiently once they get centre forward, and they've hit their targets inside 50 a bit better than Kringle have at the moment. But if I'm the Kringle coaching staff, I don't think they would be too disappointed with this start at all. They're hanging with them in terms of contested footy clearances. They're dominating the inside 50s. If they can find some polish in this second quarter, they might even be able to create a break for themselves. So really, really good start. And after a good under-19s game, mate, this is looking like it's going to be a cracker as well, and hope it continues.
Absolutely, as the crowd just makes their way off the ground.
No real sense of urgency in getting off the ground, is there?
No, there's not.
No, that's...
Not too much.
It's okay, guys. There's only a grand final going on. By all means, take your time.
Looks like it's just the Kringle crowd out there, Daz. We're waiting on. Players are in place now. So we shouldn't be too far away from a resumption here in the second quarter. Plenty of blue and white and red and white throughout the crowd.
A crowd that's only going to increase too, which is beautiful. So if you're in the Frankston or surrounding area, pop in. Sky Bus Stadium, absolutely beautiful surface. The crowd's going off. Great footy to be had throughout the afternoon. Get down here. Fantastic.
So the last couple just making their way off the ground now. Cooper de Merlot in the ruck up against Liam Bennett for Kringle.
Here we go. Surely.
It's the only trouble when there's a big crowd, Daz.
My goodness.
Here we go. Siren sounds for the second quarter here at Skybus Stadium. DeMerlo, he gets an easy tap out, tries to run onto it himself. He lays a tackle, but he's going to give away a free kick, and that's going the way of Kringle.
Bit unfortunate, didn't see that the ball had spilled out, but the intensity is still high class, and Langwarrin's back six have stood up, so that's more than forgivable.
So that was a bit of a chiselling kick out, looking for Grant Paxton. He couldn't run onto it. Taken away by Langwarrin. They've made their way up to the wing. Ball comes back into the corridor. Standing there is Andy Johnson. Is he going to take the mark? He doesn't. Ball comes over the back. They've got numbers out here, Langwarrin. Come out wider in front of the coaches' boxes here. Ball's not going to bounce the way of Dale Donkin, but it's going to go down the field. So Donkin has the footy. He goes over the top. Andy Johnson. He goes with a long kick, looking for Hughes, but going back, taking a mark for Kringle with absolute courage.
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't know what was coming the other way.
So the umpire's going to bring the ball back.
Actually, advantage to Kringle there, because off one step, leaning back, kicking into the corridor in your defensive 50 and not hitting a target, that would have driven the coach insane. So he gets a second crack.
Down the line they come.
Whoa,
that is an absolute hanger from Jared Sullivan. Over the top of the pack, he goes up, looking for a target. It's a one-on-one. Now it's a 2v1, favouring Langwarrin. Branch has the footy. He goes in, looking for Longley. He goes back down. He had a man all alone. He's going to take the mark in Dale Donkin. He's going to play on. Goes with a chiseler. And that's a great kick.
You're giving him a lot of credit there.
Callum Gaze took the mark. He goes over. And running onto the footy is Charlie Meggs. He'll go back and line up for the third of the afternoon for Langwarrin.
Yeah, that was a much better kick, but the original one going inside 50 by Donkin, I don't think came off the part of the foot that he was after. But yeah, pretty inexcusable defense to let the ball, to let a free player out the back, and this should be Langwarrin's third.
In he comes, and he's missed. So Langwarrin 2-4-16, Kringle 2-1-13. You need to take those opportunities in grand finals, Daz.
Yeah, my goal-kicking pessimism is at an all-time high right now. Langwarrin should be set up pretty well here, as it's just taking a moment or two to get the footy back in. So no excuses if they let this go coast to coast. No one further than just about the centre circle line for Kringle. So if they are going to win the footy, they've got a slingshot back pretty quickly.
So DeMerlo over the top. He
That's
sport
nearly a mark.
he sport the ball, but then took it, so it should have been a mark.
Oh boy, right in the spot where Jared Sullivan took an absolute hanger.
So DeMerlo in the ruck, giving a free kick away for a push.
Yeah, second time a ruck free kick's been given away. Fighting for front spot. You tend to find that doesn't happen a lot.
So Beale. He's been awarded a mark, but I don't think the crowd were too happy.
I think the original Langwarrin defender got him a little bit high.
The ball's at the forward 50 for Kringle. Quick kick by Condolly. Up to Sullivan, the man who just took an absolute hang. Quick kick out. Patterson. Shepherd applied by Johnson. Patterson goes up looking for Hughes. Goes over the back. Michael Burke. He's tackled from behind. Ball's going to go out to Merlo. Andy Johnson's running onto it. He's got a man over the top. He elects to go further afield. It's a great mark by Mitch Mathy. He's got Anthony O'Rourke further afield by himself. He also got one in the goal square. He's going to go with a chiseler. Can he take the mark? Ball comes to ground. O'Rourke slides in. Tackled.
3-on-2 in their own, pretty much their goal square, or they're 20 metres out from goal, Langwarrin. They couldn't get it done. Pressure, 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 pressure.
So ball up at the top of the square. Clearing kick, but standing all alone. It's Cody Howard. Ball bounces in front of him.
Oh.
And it bounces away unkindly and we'll get a throw in just inside the forward 50 in front of the Frankston Dolphins homes change rooms there, Daz.
Yeah, absolutely. We talk about Jared Sullivan before. Like his namesake in the AFL, bit of Jared Brennan about that hanger, and then he had a chance to kick a miraculous goal and nearly missed his foot.
Andy Johnson does the ruck work there, just belts it inside forward 50. Jason Hind, he goes by hand over to Michael Burke. He runs over it. He was tackled. Ball comes out. And the umpire calls for it once again. Charlie Meggs was the player there that was tackled.
Kringle don't want to use the corridor, and it's costing them at the moment, kicking down the line.
So another free kick going the way of Liam Bennett in the ruck for Kringle. He goes with a good kick, looking for Paxton through the middle of the ground. He can go long and high. Langwarrin have the out number here, and going back, taking the mark was Tom Branch.
Kringle, I think. No, umpire.
Branch goes out wider, but that's an ugly kick that may just work out. So they've evened up the contest there, Langwarrin. Certainly not a great kick coming from their defence.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely spot on. And Ryan Gross has just come back on the ground, which will even numbers up for Langwarrin in their forward half.
So Longley doing the ruck work. He just spikes it forward, looking for Kennedy to run onto it. Donkin tries to lay a Shepherd. Pack forms right in front of the Kringle faithful here at Skybus Stadium as the umpire calls for it once again. 2-4-16 Langwarrin, Kringle 2-1-13. It's your Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard.
I do like the way this game's being umpired. There are definite free kicks that have been there, but the ball is still zipping around. It's only the disposal efficiency that's stopping this from being an almighty shootout, but still a good contest.
Absolutely. A ball goes in. That's a better kick, but he's dropped the mark, Ryan Gross. Hughes dropped the footy. Kick over the shoulder. And another behind for Langwarrin. So they move to 2-5-17. Kringle 2-1-13.
Everything about that little passage of play was gross, wasn't it? Poor Ryan running back. He didn't know what was coming. Turns out it was nothing, and he let it slip through. And they are really trying to win this game the hard way, Langwarrin. They've had some really easy chances this quarter.
So ball goes out to the far side on the half-back flank.
It's this kick that's bothered them.
Absolutely. This is a high, long kick. It's not going to work out usually when it's an outnumber to Langwarrin, but it gets over the back. It's a one-on-one contest further afield.
Oh, brilliant.
Jai Treep just turns his opponent inside out, and he kicks the goal. So Kringle get their third on the board there, 3-1-19. Langwarrin 2-5-17.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant there. And what he did so well is he used his body and just stopped his Langwarrin opponent before the ball had originally bounced. So even if the bounce didn't favour him, he still had a step. And it turned out the bounce did favour him. He was able to get around on his right side there. Jai's done beautifully in a good check side goal, which seems to be the way the goals are going through at the moment. AJ, not a lot of drop punts are working out, but around the corner, both teams are going okay in front of goal.
So these are the balls back in the middle of Skybus Stadium. 2-5-17, Kringle 3-1-19. They've hit the lead. DeMerlo in the ruck. Big tackle by Andy Johnson. Ball comes out to Merlo by hand. Kennedy, he goes long to half forward. Mitch Mathy was standing under it. He lays a tackle. The crowd wanted holding the footy. Intercepted there from Langwarrin. Was the man in Fenwick, but he has missed once again. So they've been wasteful in front of goals, Langwarrin. They moved to 2-6-18. Kringle 3-1-19.
Yeah, they're kicking some pretty easy. They're getting some pretty easy shots, and we know what happened. They've got the North jumper on, the North colours, 98 grand final, that second quarter against Adelaide. They kicked 2-11. North back in the day, they've got to just settle themselves down, put one through, and rebound from there. But what's interesting is Cooper Conley for Kringle is not attending the ruck contest at the centre bounce and creating an extra midfielder, and so far it's working.
So Andy Johnson on his left, he goes up and he finds
close to 50.
His teammate there at the top of the 50-metre mark. It was the player in Dylan Howard. He gives off to Cooper DeMerlo. He hit, as soon as he hit that, he liked it. He turned around. But he has missed. So he should have watched it the whole way, Daz.
Oh, he was that excited. I thought he'd kicked it.
Absolutely.
Goodness
so
me.
They moved to 2-7-19. Kringle 3-1-19.
Yeah, after all that, scores a level. Unbelievable. Oh, no.
It's going to be, but he hasn't taken the mark. He's dropped it. Hughes over the top he goes. And that one has gone through. Finally.
It's the round the corner, I'm telling you.
3-7-25, Langwarrin. 3-1-19, Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard here at Skybus Stadium for the Division 2 Reserves Grand Final between Langwarrin and Kringle.
It was a little tongue-in-cheek when I was saying the drop punts weren't working so well, but I'm starting to believe. Geez, intercept mark, you can't afford to be dropping that, but really, really good follow-up and a little bit of a lucky bounce there, but you need a bit of luck in grand finals to go your way. They deserve this lead. Langwarrin, their forward half pressure's been really, really good, and to be able to convert will do wonders for their confidence, so they'll be feeling better and better.
So DeMerlo's been
dominant
in the ruck. So they got their number one ruckman, Honey, off the ground at the moment. Mark has been taken by Gaze. He goes in looking for a target. Over the back, Hughes was nudged out. Who can run onto it? It's going to be out of bounds on the full, so it should be going the way of Langwarrin, who Mitch Mathy will claim the kick. No, it'll be going to his teammate who already had the footy, so smart of him, Dads, to try and get the footy, but no cigar in the end.
There was a bit of Tom Papley about that, I reckon, from Mitch there. Now, he's going around the corner, so can't miss. I was wrong.
Oh, you've given him the old commentator's curse there, Daz.
No, they're doing it to themselves, mate. Let me tell you, it's got it's not me. This game could have been halfway over at this point if they had put a few through. That was probably their most difficult shot, so you can forgive that one.
It's been the same sort of story in the under-19s. They should have been further ahead, not been able to capitalise on the scoreboard. So Langwarrin 3-8-26, Kringle 3-1-19. Kringle have worked their way up to the wing. Ball goes back. Branch has the footy. He switches the play looking for the player in Cody Howard. It falls out the back for him. He goes in with a bit of a mung. But it's been intercept marked for Kringle. Luckily, because they had players streaming forward there, Langwarrin Daz.
Yeah, they did. Really, really good composure from their back six, who I know they've had a few scoring shots go past them, but are actually holding up okay. It's whether they're turning the ball over in the midfield is where they're getting punished, but rebounding off half-back's been a strength of theirs so far.
Well, they've had plenty of opportunities to rebound off half-back. As Grant Paxton does just that. It goes over the back. Punteroni's going to run onto it. He's going to be run down if he's not careful. He's dumped. And the defender was actually leading the forward there with a great intercept mark. They've got players in the middle. If they can find Kennedy, he was out. But they're going to go down the line. Goes over the back, mark taken.
Hopefully at some point the players realising that the down the line has not worked for either side all day.
Absolutely, as they bring the ball back into the middle of the ground. Beale has it now for Kringle.
Heaps of space inside 50. Got to go. Go quick, son.
And he does. He wants to go back onto his right side. Goes inside forward 50 with an ordinary kick. Longley was standing there. He just lopes away, looking for O'Rourke. Bounces. It stays in.
Oh.
Not a great bounce there for Ryan Gross. But it's going to be escorted out, and we'll get a throw in right in front of the Brian Mace grandstand here at Skybus Stadium. Langwarrin 3-8-26, Kringle 3-1-19.
Yeah, Anthony Beale would like that kick back, I suspect. Ran around onto his right foot, just wanted a bit of extra momentum, and the ball came off his shin.
Absolutely. This ball is in the corridor now for Langwarrin. They've got plenty of numbers. Taylor just left it for his teammate, but they both didn't go for it in the end. Big tackle applied. No whistle coming. Fennick with a kick going forward, but it's intercept marked for Kringle. They'll be able to steady once again. They're going to go wide through the agency of Ashcad. They were looking for Punteroni, but it gets over the back now. Handball under a bit of pressure here, Langwarrin. The ball didn't sit well for Matthews, but they got the numbers. Langwarrin on the far side. They're going to go by a chain of handballs. They've worked it up to Longley, who was tackled straight away. Ball's under the pack there. Players are forming a big pack. Umpire swarms and we'll get another stoppage.
It's not going to show up on the scoreboard, but the way that Langwarrin are able to push back, get numbers into their defensive 50 and stop Kringle from moving the ball with any sort of pace or authority is one of the reasons they're the best team in the comp.
The ball's on the ground once again. Players dive in. Langwarrin players want a free kick, but it's not forthcoming.
Yeah, you never see umpires try to play the game. It's very interesting to watch players try to umpire the game. Happens at all levels, of course. Nothing special about it happening on this occasion.
Absolutely. Honey, he goes with the tap out, looking for someone to run onto it.
That's
but
a
Grant
great
Paxton runs through the centre of Skybus Stadium, going up longer, looking for the player in Chase Jordan to scored it out, and we'll get a throw in.
Inside 50s for Kringle, looking at 9 and Kringle 11 for the quarter.
Is he going with Kringle twice?
I think so.
I think he has, yep.
Ball thrown in. Rucks do battle. Comes over the back, big tackle by Kennedy. Free kicks going the way of Kringle.
Could that have been descent, do you think? I didn't really see an arm movement from the umpire to signal what it was.
Inside forward 50 they go. They're looking for the player in Sullivan, who's probably taken the best mark of the day so far. Ball goes over the top of Michael Burke. He can't evade the player in Ryan Gross.
That was a really clever tackle by Gross. Once he had Burke on the ground, he just slung his leg over him as well to ensure he couldn't try and buck his way up and keep the ball in there. That was really clever.
So Honey almost taps it down to his opponent. And the ball just trickles out and we'll get a throw in.
So no reason to panic, of course. Only 7 points for Kringle, but they'll go into half-time a lot happier if they can keep the margin around here. Langwarrin have still got all the momentum. One against the grain would be gold.
The Kennedy off the ground. Grant Paxton gets his body in the way. Falls to the ground.
Oh, the umpire, not officiating umpires paid that. Oh, boy.
So Paxton's going to get the free kick. He goes up.
Good kick. Oh, no.
He was looking for Bennett, but he's dropped the mark. Langwarrin go by hand. Mitch Matey has the footy now. He's tackled straight away. Umpire was about to blow the whistle, but he didn't. Players dive in.
Good call by the umpire. He couldn't see the event and let play keep on.
So the ball's thrown up. Dry Treep tries to break through. Ball comes out. Players are just diving in here. Burke's over it for Kringle. Another pack forms.
Tell you what, there's nothing pretty about it, but geez, it's good to watch. A contested scrap, exactly what grand final footy should be.
So it's on the offensive side of the wing here for Kringle. Honey does the ruck work. He's been good along with Cooper de Merlo in there for Langwarrin. Longley has a footy. He goes back. Quick kick by Fennick. Goes up. Grant Paxton, he's been superb for Kringle.
And the man on the mark just ran to the bench then, so allowed Paxton to play on. Not great game awareness. That
Just over 4 minutes left in the quarter.
So Langwarrin 3-8-26, Kringle 3-1-19.
big 4 minutes for Kringle here. They couldn't ask for a better spot to set up. If they let Langwarrin run this ball out and create a score up the other end, that is going to be an absolute dagger to end what's been a pretty good first half for them.
So DeMerlo's back in the ruck for Langwarrin. Big tackle by Andy Johnson.
I reckon that's his 8th tackle I reckon I've seen him lay so far, which is fantastic.
The fridge as he's known. Ball thrown up. Going the way of Kringle. Inside forward 50 they go once again. Comes out the back to the player in Chase Jordan. But it's gone out of bounds on the full. And Langwarrin will be able to repel from their defensive 50.
So the reason why he wasn't allowed to run into an open goal there is simply because Langwarrin had set up on the defensive side of the stoppage really, really well. They had 2 players ready for that big punch. That's a
interesting kick,
yeah,
Daz.
yeah.
They put the Langwarrin players under a lot of pressure, so Kringle are going to keep this ball inside their forward 50.
So watch for this stoppage again, Langwarrin not letting anyone from Kringle get goal side of the stoppage, which is not letting them get an easy shot at goal.
So quick kick by Treep. Goes a lot higher than it does in distance. But the mark's been taken by the player there in Fennick. He's been good. Goes over the top to Kennedy. He goes longer, looking for Meggs. But it bounces in front of him and it'll go out. Right in front of the new lights here, Daz. Fantastic facilities at Skybus Stadium.
Yeah, gorgeous. Like it a lot, and I think both of these two sides right now are giving a beautiful, fantastic atmosphere justice at the moment. Might not be the high-scoring shootout, but let me tell you, you're not going to find much better pressure footy than this.
Ball comes over the back from that throw-in. Langwarrin are going to exit the stoppage. It's outnumber here to Kringle. Mark was dropped. Throwing their bodies in here are the Langwarrin boys, just trying to make sure that they don't concede another one. They'll go forward now, though, out in front of Hughes. Ball's going to trickle out. That was a quick kick by the player there in Dylan Howard. He's been good early.
Yeah, really clever, wasn't it? I think he had Michael Burke to contend with there. Used his body really well and forced the ball forward in one of those that would probably be paid deliberate if it was a defender. But going forward, it goes unpaid.
So free kick going the way of Langwarrin. It'll go through Cooper to Merlot. He wants to get the ball in.
One of the best on the ground in the first half. And to the Bronx cheers too, which you love to see at any footy ground.
Absolutely. Matt Smith takes it. The intercept mark for Kringle.
Yeah, they just got to go conservative here. I understand the want to attack and the want to score, but they cannot under any circumstances concede one late here.
So found Jai Treep just in the defensive 50 for Kringle. He wants to go long down the line. And that is certainly a long ball. Sullivan, can he get out the back? It's taken away by Jason Curry. So Langwarrin have it. 80 metres out from goal. They go inside forward 50, and that is a mark taken. He was standing about third in line. He's able to take the mark, and he'll be able to go back and line up for the 4th of the afternoon for Langwarrin. Obviously, probably only about a minute left in this quarter. If Dale Donkin can put this through, it'll certainly give Langwarrin the edge at halftime.
Yeah, this would be a dagger to Kringle, who the last 10 minutes have probably been the better side. Huge kick this.
The inside 50 he comes. Shot at goal. Was never missing. Straight over the umpire's hat. Dale Donkin gets his first on the board. Langwarrin 4-8-32. And also Kringle 3-1-19.
Great kick, great composure. It's all you can ask for in a big final, as we know. And straight off the boot, he loved it. And the goal umpire did not need to move at all. I didn't mind the long down the line kick. The problem was is that Jared Sullivan, and he had a teammate as well. I think it might have been Anthony Beale, actually, who ran forward of the ball and just let Langwarrin rebound off half back, and from there they always had an extra. So, yeah, pretty poor defensive work down the line when you're trying to stop a score.
In the middle they go. DeMerlo with another hit out. So Langwarrin have certainly got the advantage in the ruck. Ball comes out the back. Langwarrin on another hand don't want to concede one and only go in with a goal lead. Inside forward 50, Kringle go. The siren sounds for half-time. Langwarrin 4-8-32, Kringle 3-1-19. This broadcast is being brought to you by Profinish Roof Plumbing, Chisholm Sports Academy, Tackle Your Feelings, the Victorian Responsible Gambling Association, WorkSafe, and the TAC. We're going to go to a break and we'll be back in the third quarter. And welcome back to Skybus Stadium, where halftime is just about finished. You can see Langwarrin 4-8-32, Kringle 3-1-19. It's been a good contest so far, Daz.
Yeah, it's been one heavily filled with contested ball. It's been a bit of a scrap, which we expect in a grand final. It's not going to be your 100 to 90 job in most grand finals, regardless of the weather. But what we're learning is the team that's more efficient centre forward are the team that's putting a score on the board. And at this point, that's Langwarrin.
Absolutely. So Langwarrin will kick to the Car Street end in this third quarter. Kringle going towards the Nepean Highway. Once again, we're just waiting for a few spectators and some staff to get off the ground, and we'll be back with a start into the third quarter.
What a magnificent view of the water too.
It's a beautiful spot up here, Daz.
Absolutely.
Much rather be in here than out there. So umpires holding the ball aloft. Cooper DeMerlo in the ruck.
Probably
against
been
Liam Bennett.
Probably been the best, if not top three.
Absolutely. He gets his hand on the footy early. Does Cooper DeMerlo. Michael Burke runs onto it. He gets his hand out. Ball hits a couple of heads. Handball was just over the top. And a good tackle there by Andrew Taylor. Kringle not going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the instructions were from the Kringle coaching staff to William Mace, but getting hit in the forehead probably wasn't the instruction he was given.
Absolutely right. So another ball up. DeMerlo dominating in the ruck. Kennedy just goes off the ground. Michael Burke going to run onto it for Kringle. He goes out by hand.
Clean hands.
Over the top. Misevic goes long.
Oh.
Over the back though. Sullivan, after taking an absolute hanger, can he kick an almighty goal? That's a great tackle, but not going to be rewarded. Shot on goal. That's another behind. So Kringle moved to 3-2-20. Langwarrin 4-8-32.
Tell you what, the Kringle forward, I think he would have hit his opponent's thigh. If that was knee on head, we would have had a very, very serious situation. But a good start from Kringle and lock the ball in and create another chance. That was a very gettable one.
It's a great mark to Cooper DeMerlo. He's certainly staking his claims for a best on ground medal.
You got to call that play on umpires. Come around in about at 5 metres.
O'Rourke, he gets edged under the footy. Andy Johnson tries
Took
to
him
fend
on.
off.
Oh, he's got away with one there. Oh, no. Just acquainting themselves. A couple of the Kringle boys with the fridge.
So a ball up on the close wing here at Skybus Stadium. Bennett follows up his ruck work with a kick inside forward 50. But standing there for Langwarrin, taking the mark. They'll be able to rebound and just fight off that attack from Kringle, Daz.
Yeah, they're holding up pretty well here, Kringle locking the ball in. And the going down the line hasn't worked for either side, although they're out here.
Yeah, Kennedy, he goes on his left. Goes up, looking for a target. Player for Langwarrin falls over. Can't run onto it. The ball's just not bouncing right for a few players at the moment. Big tackle applied by Howard. And we'll get a stoppage just inside the centre square here on the half-forward flank, going towards the Car Street end, Langwarrin. Meggs, he tries to run onto it. He's just pushed in to the footy. Goes up looking for Hughes. It's on the ground. Donkin intercept. He's pushed off it. His kick goes out of bounds. And Kringle will be able to retain the possession.
Just smart defence there from Kringle, running towards the boundary line. Just give your opponent a nudge. Don't need to do anything silly, and they didn't. So, good way to repel here, but they're going to go down the line, which hasn't really worked for either side all day.
So, DeMerlo over the top. He can't take the mark. Taylor, he runs onto it for Langwarrin. He's tackled immediately. Kennedy goes by hand. Out to Meggs. Quick kick inside forward 50. How's this going to bounce? Not in the favour of Kringle. There's a few players that could run onto it here for Langwarrin. That's one of them. And that's going to be the first goal in the third quarter for Langwarrin. 5-8-38. They move on to, and the goal kicker looks like it was Dale Donkin.
Wow, two of the unluckiest bounces you're ever going to see, I think, for Kringle there. And Langwarrin, well done, took advantage of their work. Good finish by Donkin, but yeah, long down the line just isn't working at the moment. And yeah, Cooper DeMerlo is putting on an absolute clinic at the moment.
So 5-8-38, Kringle 3-2-20. Lead extends out to 18 points.
One more and the panic button is going to get slammed if you're from Kringle.
Absolutely, DeMerlo in the ruck. He's been absolutely brilliant today. Donkin has the footy now. He goes out wider. Andy Johnson, he's going to go on his left. Goes up looking for Hughes. He runs under it. Grant Paxton has the footy now for Kringle. And that's a good calm kick. Finding his teammate in the defensive 50.
He's been really composed today, Paxton.
Not a great kick. Ball's going to be turned over. Fennick, he goes with a driving kick inside forward 50. O'Rourke and Hughes were there for Langwarrin. O'Rourke lays a tackle. Kick comes out. Over the top was Patterson. Ball comes to ground. Kennedy was taken high. No free kick. DeMerlo's got the footy now. And he's going to win a free kick for too high.
The second lot of Bronx cheers we've heard throughout this game. The Langwarrin fans feeling like they're hard done by, but with a 3-goal lead in a grand final, you don't tend to complain too much.
Absolutely. Mark not going to be paid to Mitch Mathy. He goes with a high ball up, looking for Hughes. Can he take a one-on-one mark? He can't. Ball bounces. It's going to bounce out and we'll get a throw in.
Yeah, they're just getting the ascendancy in this contest, Langwarrin, and they're not too far away from probably putting the game beyond reach, of course. Kringle have only kicked 3 goals for the game, so that's got to be taken into account, as well as the time, of course. So you've got to be strong here, Kringle. Got to be firm and got to get the ball coast to coast and lock it up at their end.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Handball
great
off.
hands.
Donkin once again. He kicks another one. So that was a great handball there.
Yeah,
He's turned it on in this quarter.
Yeah, where was his opponent is what the Kringle staff are going to be asking themselves, and that's probably the 3rd goal from that spot we've seen from a check side. We saw Jai Treep in that second quarter, kick a nice one from pretty much the exact same spot. So for anyone out there that's either at the ground or in their car, if you're wondering why Langwarrin are the best team in the competition, well, the last 4 minutes have shown you why.
Absolutely.
Starting with this bloke in the ruck.
He's been sensational. Cooper DeMerlo, Michael Burke just pushes through. He gets a clearing kick going inside forward 50, but standing in the way was Shane Patterson. He's going to get and go. He's got Andy Johnson out. He's taking the mark. He's got
a man
a
on the
teammate
wing.
going down the wing, but he's going to go a bit more direct. Going looking for Anthony O'Rourke. Ball bounces in front of him. Tackle applied. Ryan Gross and another of his teammates just run into each other. The pressure's certainly risen here from Langwarrin, but Kringle are able to prevail and work it out of their defensive 50. Cramp Paxton, he's got it going down the far wing. The free kick's going to go. No free kick. So Longley takes the mark. Cooper DeMerlo's got it now. And they've got Howard out here. He can get it and go. And he does. Inside forward 50 with a bit of worm burner.
Burned Ryan Gross here is just giving his teammate a bit of a look back going, I know I'm a little bit smaller, mate, but I was still free and in 15 metres of space.
Absolutely. So it's inside the forward 50 for Langwarrin once again. The other player, along with Cooper DeMerlo, is probably Michael Kennedy, who's been sensational today.
You never want to say one more and it's over, but from Kringle's point of view, they would have to kick 6 and they've only got 3 for the game. It's just a big, big lead for a grand final.
Absolutely. Taylor, he goes with a quick kick. Can anyone take the mark? They can. Dale Donkin once again. He's turning it on in this quarter.
This is Stewie Dew in 08 style. He's just ripping this 3rd quarter to pieces.
Well, there's a fair reason why he kicked the most goals in the league this year, Daz.
Absolutely, and I think he's had a set shot already in that 2nd quarter at the Nepean Highway end and absolutely flushed it from about 40. Tight angle this one. Not sure if he'll go the drop punt or the check side. He's setting up for a drop punt, but yeah, this would make it extremely difficult for Kringle. Oh, I loved it.
As you would when it sails over the umpire's hat. So he's got his 4th of the afternoon. He's kicked 3 in this quarter. He's putting his name up there along with Cooper DeMerlo, Michael Kennedy for the best on ground.
Langwarrin really got their heads up high now and I nearly got the coast button on.
Yeah, well, I'll extend Kringle the professional courtesy there. They've got one more. They've got one more.
Honey into the ruck now. He wins the tap out. Longley, he applies a tackle, and he's going to win a free kick.
Just reward. They've got another level to go to, Langwarrin. It doesn't look like Kringle have at the moment.
So they've got it on the far side. They've worked it up to Jason Curry. Over the top to Kennedy. He's got a couple of metres there as he drives inside forward 50 looking for O'Rourke. It's out the back. Hughes. Ooh,
Jeez, he had an opponent on the, a teammate on the goal line. All he had to do was pick it up and they were in, and it was probably all over Red Rover.
Absolutely. 7-9, 51, Kringle 3-2, 20. Andy Johnson cuts his ball off in front of Travis Punceroni.
I reckon he's
done. Throw in.
I reckon he's done. He's been the best on the ground defensively, Andy Johnson, for mine. Since coming in, he's laid big tackles. I reckon that's his fourth spoil, where he was out of position as well, which is a fantastic role to play. One that will be looked upon very, very well internally at Langwarrin, and getting some appreciation here has been awesome.
Absolutely. Ball comes up. Patterson can't take the mark. Burke comes through. It gets over the top to Condolly.
Oh, no.
He turns it over. Now they're out, Langwarrin. They're in the middle of the ground. Jason Curry has it. He goes over the top to Bussettle Inglis. They've gone further afield. Their run's really concerning Kringle in this quarter, Daz.
Yeah, spot on, and it's a massive concern as 3-on-1 and no Kringle player really
Ryan
flew.
Gross has a shot at goal, and he just misses.
Jeez, he's had some half chances. Ryan Gross has been ignored on a couple of occasions. He was the one on the goal line earlier. He was in a pocket of space. Would have been just reward to put that one through.
So the ball's been brought back in. They're in the back pocket. Kringle. Punceroni has it. He goes up. He's found his teammate about 15 metres further afield. Driving the ball up. Over the back it gets, but they had players out the back there. Langwarrin. Ball didn't sit nicely, but they've worked it back. Although they're going to probably turn this over here now. Kennedy. He wins it back for Langwarrin. Has a fresh airy.
That was just a throw.
The player in Galbraith just honestly had an absolute brain fade there, Daz.
Yeah, his brain was just not telling him what to do with his legs. The hand part was all right, but the legs didn't move. Extraordinary. And Kringle now locked the ball in like they did for a lot of the second quarter. Create a chance, put one through, and settle down. That's the hope.
Michael Burke comes
Been
through
their
the
best
stoppage.
this quarter. He's taken this personally.
Big tackle by Kennedy on Punceroni. As the Langwarrin faithful, a few jibes to the Kringle players out there. Clearing kick from the stoppage. They're going to win out Langwarrin if it sits for them.
Well done.
And they're through. Charlie Meggs, he might be tackled. He is, but he gets a handball going forward. Paxton can't control it. O'Rourke came through. He butters up once again. Ryan Gross, if he can get past and he can straighten up.
How far?
And he's kicked it. The umpire went to put his whistle up, but he's kicked it just in time. So Ryan Gross gets his first of the afternoon. And Langwarrin have got one hand on the cup now, Daz.
Yeah, just about, don't they? Just reward for Ryan Gross, as we said earlier. Probably deserved a couple throughout the afternoon for the spots that he's gotten into, and yeah, a little bit of help from the umpire there, not paying a too far free kick that might have been there, but yeah, I think the celebrations are due to begin.
So it's 8-10-58, Kringle 3-2, 20. It is the Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard.
They call it the Premiership quarter for a reason, OJ, don't they? They came in with a very, very slim lead at half-time, and then they've just clicked into first gear, and Kringle, just no disrespect to them, they just haven't been able to go with them.
Absolutely, you're spot on, Daz. There's Langwarrin, Punceroni through, kicking inside forward 50. He goes. So they've worked it out in their defence, Langwarrin, by hand. It's been superb, their run in this quarter. They've worked it all the way up to the wing. They're going to go up to centre half forward. They look for Donkin, but it goes over his head. Standing out there was the man that just kicked the goal, Ryan Gross. He goes with a bit of a throw off the ground, but it wasn't called. Donkin tries to run onto it once again. Howard. He goes inside looking for O'Rourke.
Whoa.
Almost took it. Absolute hanger. Mitch Mathy's got the footy now. He goes by hands back over to Donkin.
Oh, I sold some
He
candy.
goes into the corridor, finds a man standing all alone in Dylan Howard, and they will go back and line up for another one in this quarter. It is currently 8:10:58, Kringle 3-2-20, and we've got 2 Kringle players down and out at the moment.
Yeah, don't we? Which is a real shame. I saw the first big hit, didn't see the one inside defensive 50, and it was why Langwarrin had a couple of free men inside, which is a shame. Fingers crossed those boys are okay. Looks like one's a shoulder coming off now from defensive 50, but the Kringle player in the middle of the ground, we can't quite see who it is due to the throng that is surrounding him, but still down, so it looks like a concussion, something to do with the head or the neck or the back at the moment. Doesn't matter the margin or the occasion, AJ. No one likes seeing that.
No, we certainly don't. So it's 8:10:58 with Langwarrin lining up for another goal when we resume the play. Kringle are 3-2-20, and they've basically just got 2 players just knocked out in one play there, Daz.
Yeah, I think the first player is coming off now. Yeah, that's a definite shoulder. They've made the sling with the jumper sleeve there, so that's a definite shoulder injury, which is a shame. Fingers crossed it doesn't take too much of the pre-season out.
That was Ash Cad.
So we wish Ash all the best, of course.
So we're just waiting for a stretcher here.
And not a lot of movement going on just between the 50 and the centre square, and there is a bit of leg movement, which is good to see, but yeah, we don't like seeing that at all. So, of course, just while we wait, we've got Langwarrin and Kringle in the seniors going ahead at 2:30. We'll be joined by the one and only Michael Voss, who's probably got a spring in his step after last night. The old group chat that we've got, he was a bit bullish on Brisbane, so he'll be up and about, Vossi, which we love.
He's been to the President's lunch today, so he's a man of town, Michael Voss.
I would have thought the Mayor of Mornington would just get a walk-up start in all those luncheons. It's the right thing to do.
So we're just waiting for a stretcher here, unfortunately.
Not a fun side, but what is good to say is that it looks like it's being handled with the best of care. It's a very serious situation, taken extremely seriously. So a huge shout out to all the medical fraternity that are helping out there. And some breaking news here, boys. We'll talk AFL just for a second. The AFL's moved the Brownlow medal away from the traditional Monday night before the grand final to avoid a clash with the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II, which of course be cast live from Australia. So the AFL biggest awards night of the year was scheduled to be held at Crown in Melbourne on September 19th, and that will be moved to the Sunday night, which will be September the 18th. So some breaking news there as we wait for the next step here.
I think they've gone to buy a stretcher, Daz.
Yeah, I think they've gone to, although I love the thought from the Kringle
I think
players.
it's an ankle as well.
Yeah. Extremely groggy all the way. I think you're right. I think it is more leg at the moment. Very slow getting off, but we'll wait and get word on what's happening. I think it might be William Mace. The play there, which is of course a huge shame.
So just remembering that Langwarrin will line up for their 9th goal of the afternoon when we get back into position. Langwarrin currently 8-10-58, Kringle 3-2-20.
We often talk about in footy circles that you don't want to overthink a set shot, and not that the game's on the line with this kick, but about 6.5 minutes would be an extremely long time to think about your set shot, AJ.
Yeah, there's every chance you'll miss this just because of it.
Yeah, I think so too. But Langwarrin have been that good this quarter. Putting it through seems like the obvious choice, but you know how I feel about my goal-kicking pessimism.
Shot on goal, and he's kicked it. So no commentators, Moz there. Howard kicks the goal. Langwarrin moved to 9-10-64. So, as we said, they've got one hand on the cup, barring an absolute miracle comeback in the last quarter, Daz.
Yeah, it would be absolutely bonkers to see, but I think, yeah, both hands now resting firmly on that Premiership Cup, and they'll get all the credit in the world which they deserve. And, of course, a fantastic year from Kringle also. Never easy getting into a grand final, as we know. So we're sure they'll be back next year.
So DeMerlo in the ruck. He was looking for Andy Johnson. He just barrels through one who comes off the line.
This is carnage at the moment. Just
Taylor,
don't do anything illegal.
He goes in and finds Andy Johnson. He's been very good today, as we've mentioned. Ryan Gross, he's out the back. He's in a one-on-one with Michael Burke. Ball bounces. Burke has the footy. He goes by hand. It is looking to defend with their life at the moment, Kringle. They've got the ball up to the defensive 50. They go off the deck, but waiting there is a sea of Langwarrin players.
They're lining up.
Quick kick on goal. And that misses to the near side. That was Charlie Meggs who had the shot on goal. So they move on to 9-11-65. Kringle 3-2-20. Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard.
Yeah, it's just about party time for Langwarrin, and I know we're going to talk about how good they've been offensively, but their back six have stood up. That first half, they had some really big moments, some really big contests. Kringle will rue the fact that they weren't able to hit targets inside 50, but the way that they've been able to set up from their back half, Langwarrin, is why they're going to win this premiership.
Absolutely, the ball's come out. Andrew Taylor's over the footy, and the umpire calls for it. We'll get a stoppage.
5 minutes of time left in the quarter, guys.
So DeMerlo, once again, he gets his hand on the footy first. Kennedy just goes off the ground inside forward 50, and that's great hands from Hughes. He'll go back and line up for Langwarrin's 10th of the afternoon. And it's almost getting to that time, Daz. Bit of party time happening.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They'll be popping the champers pretty quickly if he puts this through. My goodness, and we're in the perfect spot.
So in he comes. Shot on goal. That's hit the post. So they'll move on to 9-12-66. Kringle 3-2-20.
Yeah, he just knew the ball was going to get a bit of right to left, just not enough on that occasion from Hughes there. But it's almost like there's a feeling of, okay, so who's going to have a chance to kick their next one? We've seen Gross, we've seen Howard, Charlie Meggs had a shot. Hughes just then, they're lining up at the moment.
It's a big mark from Anthony O'Rourke. He's going to go in short. Once again, they're lining up. Langwarrin. Patterson goes off the side of his boot. Taylor gets it once again. Curry didn't have the footy. Michael Burke on his left. Mark was taken by Branch. He's just going to drive it long. Who's going to stand up? That man once again, O'Rourke. He had 2 bites at it. Burke for Kringle. He's got the footy and he's tackled immediately.
Been excellent this quarter. Michael Burke being the one from Kringle who's taking this personally, and he'll be burning inside as we know, but he's done himself no harm at all with this performance. Been very good.
So free kicks going the way of Liam Bennett for Kringle. A ruck infringement there.
You don't really need to do a lot these days to give away a ruck infringement free kick.
Certainly got some good weather at the moment here at Skybus Stadium. So kick goes up to the defensive halfback for Kringle. It's going to be turned over. They just can't get it past there at the moment. Does on the left goes Fennick. He goes up, and that's another great mark taken inside the forward 54 Langwarrin.
What more can you do as a Kringle defender in that?
And it's that man once again, Dale Donkin. He goes around the corner, bit lazy, and he's missed.
And it's not going to matter. No percentage in finals, as we know. But as a Kringle defender, played half a step behind, played from behind, didn't let his opponent get goal side, and you just got to tip your cap to a better opponent there, and a fantastic grab, and that's what he did. Deserved to kick that. Dale Donkin, he's got a chance to really cash in.
And it is all unravelling here for Kringle, Daz. The kick in has been intercepted. Callum Gaze has the footy. He'll go back and line up for Langwarrin's 10th of the afternoon to extend their lead.
Yeah, the epitome of lining up, hey?
Just over 2 minutes left in the quarter.
I think the Kringle players are almost conceding.
As the great Michael Voss would say, they're waiting to get on the fizz.
But he's missed this, Callum Gaze, so this could be a huge margin if they had a kick straight today, Langwarrin. 9-14-68 Kringle, 3-2-20. Chisholm Sports Academy scoreboard.
Yeah, it's about the only thing they've done wrong, isn't it? Langwarrin, their goal count's a fantastic pickup.
They just can't get it past that centre-half back region, and Gaze slides in and takes another mark, so he can go back once again.
Yeah, make
Seems
up for
like
his
the
earlier
last 5 minutes I've said they'll line up for their 10th of the afternoon, so they've missed a few.
They're enjoying listening to it, mate, but
we're just seeing a couple of Kringle players on their haunches here, just wondering how to stop it.
Unfortunately, I don't think you can stop the juggernaut in this. So Gaze, shot on goal. And he is missed.
Might be swirling down that end. We've just seen a couple of balls fade late off the Langwarrin boot, but still waiting for their 10th.
So they're 9-15-69, Kringle 3-2-20, and Kringle will have to try and bring the ball out once again. They come out looking for dry treat, and that's out of bounds on the full. So Langwarrin will get the footy back inside forward 50 once again. Big Andy Johnson flies through the front of the pack. No mark was taken. We'll get a stoppage.
Yeah, the dam wall really has broken, so Kringle are just waiting to be put out of their misery here, which is a real shame. Not how you want grand finals to go, but credit to Langwarrin. This has been incredible.
As we come into the final 60 seconds.
It'd be interesting to see, I know you've been busy, Sus, but it would have been interesting to see the amount of inside forward 50s Langwarrin have had in this quarter compared to Kringle.
I've literally run off the page.
Yeah, good answer. So the ball comes out, looking for Punteroni, spoiled over the line by Galbraith, and we'll get a throw in once again.
Starting to run out of superlatives at the moment. Just to sum up this dominance like Langwarrin, like you said, their score could be well and truly in the high 80s, 90s, and really put it away. But they're not going to care what the scoreboard is as long as it says they're in front.
Absolutely. Kennedy goes in looking for Hughes. Not able to find him. Donkin puts his head over the footy. He can't pick it up. Michael Burke's over it for Kringle. And once again, we'll get another stoppage inside the forward 50.
Wouldn't dream of it.
No.
Stoppages in a final.
Any game that we've covered. You know that.
My word.
Ball came out to Paxton. He just gets the ball going forward. So this is even a little bit...
So Ryan Grosses didn't get paid, and that's the...
I still don't think he bounced the ball at all.
No, he did after the umpire blew his whistle.
Exactly. So inside forward 50, Langwarrin go once again. And you wouldn't read about it, another stoppage.
Oh, tell me it's not true, but yeah.
I didn't even know you could still get hairspray these days. I've seen a couple of blokes just wandering through the blue hairspray.
Oh boy.
It's all happening. We've had a couple of Teletubbies this morning. So ball up to the wing, taken. Patterson just slides across. And it is three-quarter time. Langwarrin 9-15-69. Kringle 3-2-20. It is three-quarter time, and we'll head to a break. And we're just about to get underway in the last quarter. The Division 2 Reserves Grand Final, seeing Langwarrin 9-15-69, Kringle 3-2-20 as Langwarrin go inside, attacking 50 once again. Ryan Gross was sensational in that third quarter. He just paddles the ball out and we'll get a throw in.
It's going to be an interesting sort of test psychologically for Kringle here. They probably know that they're out of the contest, but you never want to show that you've given up on a game of footy, especially not a grand final. So I think they'll throw everything into this. We'll see a really attacking game style from them and hopefully see some goals.
Andrew Taylor has the footy. Quick kick out of the stoppage. Just goes over the head of Callum Gaze, and we'll get another throw in once again.
Of course, if you're in Frankston or the surrounding areas and you're looking to fill up your afternoon, get down to Skybus Stadium. Fantastic atmosphere here. The clouds have broken through and we're going to have a sensational game of seniors footy, which will be a repeat of these two teams, Langwarrin and Kringle. So get down here and support the MPNFL. Fantastic competition across both divisions. And it'll be a rip snorter of a day, we can assure you.
Yeah, you're spot on, Daz. It's lining up to be a cracking afternoon.
And of course, tomorrow we'll be from Olympic Park in Rosebud to check out Bond Beach and the Frankston Bombers. Winner to be here in 8 days' time to play YCW, of course.
So no mark was taken. Curry, he's going to get a free kick for too high.
Oi!
It's going to be on here. There'll be a 50-metre penalty, I reckon. Kringle have got obviously nothing to lose. No, there's not.
Oh, well done.
Run
Good
down
tackle.
And that is holding the football.
The spite in the game's gone up for sure.
So Beale has the footy now.
Make sure you bounce it, son.
He can go for a run. He has
Well
one
done.
bounce. He tries to step around his opponent. He goes a goal. It just misses to the near side.
Another one who's tried hard all day from half back and moving through centre forward as well. Anthony Beale.
So ball comes out. That's going to go out of bounds on the full. The golden fist from the crowd.
Yeah. A young lady down there ensuring the sunglasses aren't broken.
Chase Jordan will bring the footy back in for Kringle. He goes with a high kick. No mark was taken. DeMerlo, he got a handball to it. Longley, he goes out. He had Howard just out there all by himself. He's got a paddock. He goes longer looking for Hughes. But intercept mark was from Grant Paxton, who's been good for Kringle, Daz.
Yeah, he's been one of their best, hasn't he, along with Michael Burke. Both of them can very much hold their heads up high after today.
So the handball chains got it working for Kringle here. They go inside forward 50. Mark's been awarded, and that was much better from Kringle. Jared Sullivan's taken the mark.
50
metre penalty.
No one from Langwarrin really getting back. So the man who took a hanger gets on the scoreboard. Good on him.
So Kringle get their fourth of the afternoon. They'll need a lot more than that to get back into this contest. Langwarrin 9-15-69, Kringle 4-3-27. This game is pretty much well and truly over, Daz.
Yeah, this one's in the book as we see Andy Johnson, who's been absolutely fantastic defensively, lining up on the broadcast wing. But yeah, Langwarrin will be celebrating shortly for sure.
They've got the footy once again. Gaze, although it's been taken off him. It's going to go forward through Jordan. No mark was taken off the chest of Anthony Beale, and we'll get a throw in.
I mean, it's just extraordinary, isn't it? The footy factory that Langwarrin has produced. 2 for 2, pretty good way to start your afternoon.
Absolutely, they'll certainly be looking for 3 from 3. As the ball's thrown in. DeMerlo in the ruck once again. Punteroni, he's taken in a high tackle and he'll get a free kick. So the ball will have to come back all the way back to Travis Punteroni, who was named in the seniors, but a late exclusion from there. Obviously, news coming through that Dale Alanis will play in the seniors along with Cal Dixon, so they weren't named to start.
A couple of big inclusions there. The fitness question will be one that will be debated, but proven pretty quickly in that one, I think.
Absolutely. As the Rucks do battle once again, DeMerlo has well and truly been in the top 2 or 3 players on the ground.
Yeah, I wonder between the vote between him and Dale Donkin.
Yeah, along with Kennedy as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So he just clears the pack, does DeMerlo. Curry just paddles the ball forward.
So is there a panel that vote? Is it one person's decision? Do you know how the best on ground works for the MPNFL Grand Finals?
I think there is a couple of people that will vote on it as the ball is thrown back in.
I'm glad the umpire didn't pay that, even though it may have been there. The exaggerated throwing the body back is something you don't want to see in football.
Absolutely. Another one that's been good for Kringle is Beale.
Yes, very much so. And yeah, the Kringle frustration on the day's proceedings starting to come out in this one. They were pretty good in the first quarter. Kringle, they stuck in there in the second quarter, and then Langwarrin just flicked the switch in the Premiership quarter, the aptly titled Premiership quarter, which is why they'll run away with the Premiership Cup, the second one of the day.
Absolutely. Howard couldn't run onto it. Quick kick out through Burnett. He goes long, inside forward 50. No mark was taken. And it goes out of bounds.
Even now, Langwarrin don't want to give up anything defensively at all. It's the magnificently professional outfit. 42 points the margin.
Ball's thrown back in once again. No players wanted to run on it by Andy Johnson. Tackled by Honey. And the umpire's going to call for another stoppage. We've been going nearly 7.5 minutes here in the last quarter. Langwarrin 9:15:69. Kringle 4:3:27. Kringle have 2 hands on the cup right now, Daz.
Yeah, the Langwarrin boys will be well and truly used to this, for sure. And it'll be a big night down there, let me tell you.
Absolutely.
2, potentially 3 Premiership Cups headed to Langwarrin, but can't wait to see what happens in the seniors from 2:30.
So Burnett goes looking for Treep. Ball bounces, nearly cracks him in the chin, and it goes out a bounce once again.
Not the way you want to finish a grand final, I don't think, if when the ball's giving you an uppercut from the chin, but he's taking his chances today. Jai Treep's kicked a goal, been okay.
Once again, high throw in. Punteroni gets a quick kick on goal.
Great finish.
And that'll be another one for Kringle. So they'll get their 5th on the board. They'll move to 5:3:33. Langwarrin 9:15:69.
Just a really good finish. Only had a step and a half of space and used it. And got plenty of height in the kick, which just allowed the ball to drift back magnificently. And I do like the fact that teammates still got around him. It wasn't an exaggerated celebration for obvious reasons, but still an appreciation of the work there. So really good finish by Punteroni. And they haven't given up on the contest at all, Kringle. I know that Langwarrin haven't gone to the gear that they had in the third quarter, but they haven't dropped their heads. It's a really good attitude and why they've been worthy adversaries in this grand final.
Absolutely. Andrew Taylor's tackled immediately. Big call for a stoppage. Still inside the centre circle here at Skybus Stadium. Honey. Quick kick by Burnett. Curry's going to run onto it, but the ball evades him. He follows up his work by laying a tackle, and we'll get another stoppage just at centre half forward, heading towards the Cars Street end at Skybus Stadium, the way Kringle are coming home. So it's 5:3:33, Langwarrin 9:15:69 currently. Inside forward 50, Kringle go.
That's a mark.
But it's going to be taken there by Shane Patterson from Langwarrin.
Been the leader of that back 6 today.
He goes out wide, looking for his target and finds him. Charlie Meggs out there. He's had a good day as well.
Should have finished his good work off with a goal that he missed from a pretty tight angle for a left footer, but he's done a lot of nice things today.
Ball comes up. Longley, he goes with a high one. Inside forward 50. Who's going to take the mark? Gets over the back. Mitch Mathy. He goes by hand. Tackle applied by Donkin. And we'll get a stoppage inside the forward 50 for Langwarrin.
Not a lot of things evading Langwarrin at the moment. Their 10th goal, however, is looking impossible at this point. I think they were 9-6 at one stage. I think, sorry, they were 8-6 at one stage. Extraordinary, but just as I finished that spiel, the anti-commentator's curse has kicked in and they've gotten another one.
Absolutely. Andrew Taylor gets another one on the board for Langwarrin, and this will be party time.
Absolute party time. And so it should be. They've been magnificent. Yeah, 42.7 goals is a massive win in any game, and it's a belting for a grand final. So massive credit to Langwarrin. And of course they'll be going for 3 for 3. They're hoping when these two teams in the seniors meet, not too far away.
Absolutely. Honey follows up his ruck work. He goes with a high one inside forward 50. Plenty of targets there for Langwarrin, and standing there was Dale Donkin once again.
Is this for number 6 or 5?
5.
5. Geez, that puts your hands up. If you can get one more on the board, that'll just acquaint yourselves with the judges and just remind them that you're here. He's been fantastic. Kicked 3 goals in that third quarter, didn't he? And just ripped the game apart. He kicked a goal from pretty much this spot in the second quarter also.
So in he comes. Shot on goal, but he's tugged that to the left.
I mean, we're not going to pick on it too much because the game's over, but a little bit laconic there from Donkin. Not sure how much the BOG would mean to him, but that would have been possibly an exclamation mark.
I think you'd always like to have one of them around your neck. Does as DeMerlo over the back, spoils, but it comes down to Chase Jordan. He handballs it off to the man who's been really good, Beale. Tackle applied, and they're not giving up here, Langwarrin. They're going to fight this.
The crowd aren't giving up on it either.
All the way through.
Absolutely.
They're going to win convincingly, but they're not going to let up on the scoreboard, so they'll fight to the end and continue to pile on the goals.
And pile on the pressure. It's been an absolute masterclass into how to work yourself into a contest, and then the best sides, they've always got a gear to go to. They did it in the third quarter, and just wow is the word that comes to mind on the domination that they've had in the last sort of 45 minutes of footy.
Ball gets over the back. Howard tries to run onto it. DeMerlo goes through whose hands. He can go back though. He's got players just lining up with a chiseler inside forward 50, finding Andy Johnson, the fridge.
He deserves
all alone,
this.
Inside forward 50.
He deserves this. Defensively, I reckon he's been the best man on the ground. His tackling, his spoiling work's been fantastic. I don't think his ball use would be quite up to his usual standards, but a goal here would cap off a magnificent day for him.
That was a great kick from Tom Brants going inside forward 50, finding the man Andy Johnson all alone. He goes in, shot on goal. He's tugged it to the left once again, so they move on to 10-17, 77, Kringle 5-3, 33.
Yeah, they're not too fussed now, Langwarrin, and they're waiting for the siren. Kringle are hoping for it as well, which you can't blame them for. You can't have an attitude problem with the game winding down from here. It wasn't their day, not in that third quarter anyhow.
Absolutely, that's a great mark taken by Howard. He's going to go wider and finding that man in Andy Johnson. So he's got it on the forward flank right in front of the Brian Mace grandstand here at Skybus Stadium. He goes in looking for Hughes. Paxton can't take the mark. Going to come out the far side, but Cooper DeMerlo, he drops the footy. They've got players everywhere here, Langwarrin. They can do what they like. Kennedy slips over, back to DeMerlo. He's tackled immediately, and we'll get a ball up.
Wonder if the big ruckman will try to take it out of the sky and put one through just to finish his day off.
So the ball's thrown up once again. Free kick's going to go the way of Langwarrin for a push in the back. So Michael Kennedy will line up for his first of the afternoon.
And welcome everyone to our radio coverage of the MPNFL Grand Final. Over to AJ and Daz, who are just covering the Reserves Grand Final.
Absolutely. So Langwarrin have just put another behind on the board there. 10-18, 78, Kringle 5-3, 33. So Langwarrin, if you're just joining us, have won the under-19s, have won the seconds now, and they'll be looking for the trifecta in the seniors as they will play Kringle in the seniors, which will start after this game here. So Honey has the footy for Langwarrin. He's dispossessed. Big Shepherd off the footy.
Kringle player feeling it late.
Absolutely. Free kicks going the way of Langwarrin here.
Liam Matthews the man, and he's still breathing a bit heavier after that one.
So we're just waiting for the player to get up. He's not in a good way. He's just on his haunches. He wants to come off. So obviously I think he's got a bit of claret coming from the nose. I think it was a blood rule if that was the case, but we'll soon find out as he comes closer to the bench.
Won't matter a whole lot once the siren goes.
Absolutely. O'Rourke, he goes inside forward 50. Over the back, Hughes, can he run onto it? It's going to be escorted through, so that'll be their 19th behind Daz, 10-19, 79, Kringle 5-3, 33.
Yeah, plus 21 in scoring shots. That is a domination. No other word for it.
You're going to kick it in. The umpire is called for the ball to come back here.
And they've turned the ball over 3 times from kick-ins. So 5 minutes left in this last quarter. Oh no.
So Mark wasn't taken there by Hookham. Ball comes out to Mitch Mathy. He's almost burnt Patterson there. Should have gone back to him.
Absolutely, he did.
So they've gone inboard looking for Punteroni. They've got 2 on the far side, but they've gone into the corridor finding Tom Phipps. He goes over the top finding Burnett. He'll go with a high, long one and a 2v1. Jai Treep, it's almost going to be a 4v1 by the time the Langwarrin guys get there, but Treep wins out. He goes a goal.
That's magnificent.
That's a great kick. Jai Treep.
Oh, that's almost your goal of the day.
So Kringle get their 6th on the board. They move to 6-3, 39. And Langwarrin a 10-19, 79.
Magnificent. He's taken his chances. That's his second. He's dished one off also. So he's probably been the most potent forward for Kringle. And the Langwarrin defenders got in each other's way and he was able to steady. And it didn't look like missing off the boot, did it, at all. Fantastic from Jai Treep, and a consolation prize for Kringle. I know it's not going to mean a whole lot, but a fantastic finish all the same.
So DeMerlo in the ruck once again. He hits it down to Johnson. Taylor on his left goes forward. Burt comes off half back. He overruns the footy. It's going to come out wider to Howard. He can run onto it. Just needs to step his opponent. But he's going in short looking for Gross. He couldn't take the mark. So it's inside the forward 50 for Langwarrin once again. Jason Hinn there was trying to run onto it for Kringle, and the umpire's going to call for another stoppage. We've been going nearly 20 minutes here. Langwarrin 10-19, 79. Kringle 6-3, 39. Langwarrin will be celebrating the under-19s and the reserves grand final in not too distant future.
I'm just calling it now. This bloke's the best on ground. Oh, no. He taken off the ruckman. The umpire was A bit slow to call play on the Kringle defender, rightly so, trying to cut off the space, and he's being pinged. That's, boy, that's not the way you want to finish, but this would be an exclamation point, and I think solidifies Cooper DeMerlo as the best player on the ground once he puts this through.
Yeah, I agree with you, Daz. He's been tremendous in the ruck, and in both the 19s and the reserves, the Langwarrin ruckmen have been far superior, and they've got the first use down to their midfielders, and it's shown on the scoreboard why. So DeMerlo comes in. Listen to the roar if this goes through from the Langwarrin faithful. In he comes, and he's got it. So they get their 11th on the board. They move to 11, 1985. Kringle 6-3-39.
Good on you, big fella. Absolutely awesome. Still not a massive fan of that decision or that interpretation of the rule, but he got the reward for it. Just reward too. Hit-outs to advantage have been immense, and he's been absolutely amazing. 3 minutes left, and then it's party time for Langwarrin's reserves.
They'll be on the fizz.
Absolutely, they will be.
So ball's back in the middle here. Can Cooper DeMerlo finish off his work once again? He's been the standout player in the ruck. His tap work's been amazing to his mids today. Andy Johnson just pushes off these opponents. He goes with a barrel inside forward 50, and that's a mark taken. The mark has been taken there by Dylan Howard. He gives a bit of a salute to the crowd.
Go on the top.
So the Langwarrin players are celebrating on the bench, as they should.
Surely you go to the top. Surely. Come on, Dill.
In he comes. Shot on goal. Low ball, won't make all the way, but it's got over the back.
How's that gone through?
Umpires are just having a chat here at the moment. All clear's been given, so that's their 12th of the afternoon.
Wow.
And it's certainly party time for the Langwarrin faithful on the hill. There's a sea of blue and white.
Yeah, there sure is. 31 scoring shots to 9. If that doesn't tell you the story of the domination, not much will. Brilliant work from Johnson in the middle. And the fridge has been fantastic. Good hands from Howard, and he didn't like it off the boot. And we're not 100% sure how it got out the back, but really, really good kick. 51 out, he looked confident all the way.
So Longley's gone into the ruck now for Langwarrin. Donkin, he intercepted it, but Kringle able to get a kick forward. The experience of Langwarrin is just won out here today. Jason Curry was just chasing that like it was the first quarter there, Daz.
He was, which is really, really good to see. And, you know, this game doesn't need to be overanalyzed. It was just that 15-minute burst in the third quarter, and Kringle couldn't go with him. The damn wall broke, and it's party time for Langwarrin.
So Patterson, he goes through the stoppage, but he turns the ball over. Ball comes up to the wing. It's on in the middle here.
Oh,
Longley's having a go. It's on.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be your old-fashioned
There's a
bit of biff going on.
Only about a minute and a half left, and this is how it's going to go. Let's just hope no one from the crowd decides to join in. Just a bit of feeling to finish off a grand final, and if you're Langwarrin, you don't need to be too much. Just probably a pointing of the scoreboard, and that probably does it. There's still a season on next year, boys, so don't do anything silly, please. It's not... crowd pretty up and about, letting the players know what they think of that little melee there. Still not 100% broken up, but
so there's going to be a player sent off here.
It's not going to make a...
Chase Jordan is not really going to do anything. I'm sure the Langwarrin faithful are pretty happy. He's having a laugh.
The Langwarrin bench clapping.
I'm not really sure much was in that, but all he did was just tackle him down. As Mark's going to be rewarded here. Looked like it may have hit the ground.
Ryan Gross. He doesn't have confidence in his leg. Might give it off here, no.
No, you wouldn't at this time, does surely? Well, he does.
Oh.
Mark's been taken. Shane Patterson, he's been looking for one in this last quarter. You can see what it means to his teammates.
The celebrations will start well and truly early if this goes through. Shouldn't be too long left in the game, I wouldn't have thought.
So hopefully this can go through for Shane Patterson. Bring the crowd down.
Pop the champers. Oh no.
That's probably a reason why. Mark was almost taken by Hughes there. Ball's come out. O'Rourke's got it.
Pato looks shattered. 1 minute left. 1 minute left.
So we're going to get another stoppage.
Of a grand final that was pretty even in the first half. Langwarrin didn't take their chances, but from about the 4th minute mark of the third quarter onwards.
Free kicks going the way of Langwarrin here. Looks like it's going to Anthony O'Rourke in the ruck contest. So there was probably a reason why Shane Patterson wanted to kick a goal so bad, because we've seen how he's attempted his set shot. But nonetheless, they're going to get the premiership, Daz.
Yeah, 100%. He wanted a chance at glory, and at the moment got to him, but that's okay. He's been fantastic down back. So he gets off with a pass, and O'Rourke will line up for 13.
That is an interesting ball drop. That's an interesting run up. And that's probably the reason why.
Probably not
well, it sums up that it was a horrendous kick.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, it was not a couple of set shots in a row that would tell you this team's.
And there's the siren. Langwarrin have won the Division 2 Reserves Grand Final. 12-20-92. Kringle 6-3-39. An easy victory there for Langwarrin. So that's 2 from 2 now here today at Skybus Stadium. Once again, Langwarrin victors in the reserves. 12-20-92, 6-3-39.
53-point win, well deserved. Dominant second half from Langwarrin, and their premiership cabinet right now is absolutely filling up. And good on them too. Credit to Kringle, had a fantastic year. And they just ran into the best team in the competition on the day. So they'll come back next year. Hopefully bigger and better. With a bit to prove. But this is all about the Kangaroos right now. Unbelievable performance. Unbelievable second half. And of course, coming up after this game, we've got the seniors, which is also Kringle versus Langwarrin. Of course, with the big news, Cal Dixon and Dale Alanis have been named to play late.
We're going to go to a break, and we'll be back right after this.
Battery World now open in Mornington.
We know our 75 D23Ls from our DIN 65 LHs. And we know which is best for you. We have the range and a spark no one else can match, because we live and